Peekaboo.
Let's do that every time we start the show. For those who've got the screen, let's just start like this, and I go, hi.
I like that.
My friend does production, and he says his favourite thing people do. I'm just sorting myself out. Is when people do this, when you're like, oh hi.
Hi. Yeah. That's like
that thing where you look away and then you look to the camera and then you go.
It's like, it reminds me of Chandler Bing from Friends.
Oh, they look down, look down, look down, look down. You know, we've been watching Friends. We've been watching Friends in the house over the last couple of days. The kids have moments where they just go, right, Friends.
Yeah,
we end up just watching endless Friends and going, oh, we should begin properly, shouldn't we?
Who are we and what are we doing? Yeah, should we start again?
Right, let's go like this, like typey, 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 typey. Look at the camera. Oh, hi. How are you? Welcome to Backchannel. This is the only place that you can listen to, watch, and chat with your host, totes live. Like whenever you want to talk to us, you can just talk to us. You do it by talking to your Amazon Echo if you are in North America, and you say name followed by the word say, and then give the message that you want to give. It's really instant. Don't worry, it's not going to swear. And it'll go through straight away. And we love to get your messages and for you to be part of the show, because otherwise we've got nothing to say. Like, look, watch. Nothing. There's nothing there unless you message.
If you're not watching on an Echo show, if you're listening on an audio-only device or on Twitter or on YouTube,
Did you just say Twitter?
Twitter, on the Twitter.
Twitter.
Or on YouTube. You can go to backchannel.tv. You can join the chat that way. It's dead easy. Kristen's already been in touch. Said hi, Kate and Will. Sonny said good morning, Kristen, Kate and Will.
Good morning, Kristen, Kate and Will. That's the great thing about this as well, is that you can't. It's not that you're commenting or chatting with just us. You can chat to everybody who's here. It's like being in a great, big, lovely, friendly, smoochy gang. It's great. So my name's Kate Cocker. I host a podcast called Everyday Positivity, with the aim to give you a nugget of positivity every single day, because goodness knows we need it right now. Some joy. And this is Will, who's my producer, but he's playing above his station and talks on this one.
I'm allowed to speak on this one.
He speaks on it. It's got a speaking part.
I've got a speaking part. Sonny said, Kate, your message on Everyday Positivity Day, Everyday Positivity today, was absolutely on the mark for me today.
Oh, more on that later.
Sonny from Indiana.
Sonny from Indiana.
Do you think it's sunny in Indiana? It's not sunny in Yorkshire, I can tell you that much.
No, I tell you what, as we came on and I was hiding under the table, the rain has started here.
Oh my goodness.
I know, liquid sunshine, that's what we like to do. It rains so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place in Norway called Bergen, and they have an enormous amount of rainfall there. Manchester, enormous amount of rainfall.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle, enormous amount of rainfall. 3 of the most creative cities in the world, would you believe?
Wow.
I know, right? So you think
there must be some kind of correlation.
Manchester and all the art and everything. In Bergen, it's the same, only I couldn't... Hanne Huckelberg is one of the artists from Bergen in Norway, yes. And then Seattle, obviously, all sorts, like... oh, my mind's just gone blank. Eddie Vedder. Is it Eddie Vedder, Seattle? I'm sure Nirvana must be Seattle. Anyway, lots of lovely, great bands from Seattle as well. So, yeah, rain makes you creative.
That's
Let's
amazing.
Have a creative time.
You can do an episode about that.
Rain makes you creative. I guess it's a rainbow, isn't it?
I guess it is. You're going to have to, if you want to, what does Dolly say? If you want to see the rainbows, you've got to put up with the rain.
Yeah. I feel like that's a song. Dollies. It could be sung with that lovely twang of hers. Put up with the rain. Be lovely. Okay, we've got all sorts going on in the chat today already. So it's fairly sunny here in Indiana. It's sunny in Indiana, and sunny is in Indiana. Kristen says, good morning, sunny. Scheduled to interview. Oh, scheduled or scheduled?
Oh,
I think when we're talking about an American meeting, it's Scheduled. No,
Okay.
scheduled.
I think I would say scheduled. I don't think I pronounce the H. Scheduled.
Scheduled to interview a CEO of VR company today, and the imposter syndrome is real. Do you want to know some stuff about imposter syndrome, Will?
I'd love to.
First of all, high performers tend to suffer from imposter syndrome. So we're the ones that we are. I've included myself in that group
Yeah,
very
of course
quickly.
you have. Yeah, you've just lumped yourself in with the other high performers. The other are high performers and I, you said.
High performers suffer from it. Reason being, we're Well, I've done it again. Perfectionists. Type A personalities.
Yeah.
That's probably a better way to put it. Anyway, it's the perfectionism in you. So don't worry about being a perfectionist. But we know about, you and I have edited a podcast recently about kind of that big meeting. And
Yes.
it's coming out soon. We'll talk about it near the time. But if you've got so much pressure, there's no pressure. Does that make sense? So you get to the point where if you're interviewing a CEO of a VR company, that means there's so much pressure, there's no pressure. So you've got nothing really. You've just got to go for it and go for it 100%. Otherwise, you'll regret it afterwards.
And
So, yeah.
I kind of remember that everybody's just people. Everyone's just people.
Everyone's just people.
Like, even the people like you look up to, I'm like, yeah, just people.
What's that? It's on Saturday Night Live, isn't it? The Christopher Walken and Will Ferrell sketch. He goes, I put my pants on the same as you every morning.
Okay, I don't know it.
Left
I'm
leg
going to
and
take your
right
word
leg.
for that one because I don't know that one.
That's what us high performers say to each other.
Course
Oh
it is.
dear, I fell flat into that one, didn't I? Revealed what I obviously consider myself to be hilarious.
I think you perform pretty high.
Yeah, I'm one of those kind of there's a lot going on.
It certainly is.
Says, I'm among friends here. Yeah, you really are. You really are. Listen, if you can't take part in the chat because you're not on an Amazon Echo show or not in North America, this is a very negative way. If you're in the rest of the world, then you can take part in the chat by watching on. If you go to backchannel.tv, then you can comment and leave messages there. I'm really glad to have you. Gives us plenty to talk about. Now, I'm wondering if, in the sense of bringing some joy into the world early doors, shall we play the episode now?
Should we? Because we've already touched on it a little bit. So let's have it now, and then we'll debrief.
Okay, so this is today's episode, and is off. I think it's quite self-explanatory. So let's get creative with it. Hello, my name's Kate Cocker, and this is your Everyday Positivity from the Volley Network. The last few days have been spent in my house watching the new Beatles documentary directed by Peter Jackson. It's the story of the album Let It Be. It's how the album came together. It's looking at the rehearsals that went into the performance at the end of the recording or thereabouts. And I didn't know, but Let It Be turned out to be their last album. So let me set the scene. Here you have 4 Liverpudlians who have become the greatest rock band, pop band on the planet. They are in their late 20s and have been playing as a band since they were 13, 14, having spent many years in Hamburg playing 8 hours a night. And so you've got these guys at the absolute crystallized moment of their creativity. And what you get to watch is this. When they form a song, none of them, not McCartney, not Lennon, not Harrison, know the words in full, and they just make noises. Lemon. They have no idea what the words are going to be. They have the music in their heads, they learn it on their instruments, and eventually the words form. I sat agog as I watched Get Back, one of the Beatles' biggest songs, start as a bunch of notes and become a song. I watch agog as John Lennon says to George Harrison about his song Something, "It doesn't matter about the words. Just say anything. Attracts me like a cauliflower for now. The words will come." The point is, you have to start from where you are. You have to start somewhere. And so it doesn't matter if the idea just comes out as a noise. It will get better the more you go through it, the more you practice it, the more you pull it together, the more you do it. So remember today, it's important to start from where you are. Give yourself credit for what you have and move from this point forward. Ah.
I liked your ad-libbing in that one.
Yeah.
You're like,
Mini lemon.
It's good.
That's what they do. Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't had a chance because there was quite a lot of it. But I will do.
It's amazing. I don't know why it's so amazing. It's just amazing.
I think there's something about the unseen footage of them.
Yeah, and the footage, I don't know what they've done to it, but it's crystal clear.
Yeah.
It's like you watch, it's like it's been shot yesterday. They've done something to the footage that just means it's really pristine. Really pristine. And you just get to see them like sitting around and chatting. It's just, that's one of the things that's really nice. And there's so many lessons in it. But their creativity and their musicality is just astonishing. And there's so much that's that.
Yeah. I love the Beatles.
People do, some people don't, amazingly.
I know.
If you love the Beatles, tell me, because I think they do split opinion. My husband doesn't like early head Beatles, he calls it, where they're like da, 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 da. He likes the kind of later, cooler stuff. But what I didn't realise is that's because they stopped playing live because they just couldn't. Like they couldn't for the fact that the fans just wouldn't were too crazed. And so they started just recording in the studio, which is why Let It Be such a big deal, because it's like their first live performance, and I think last. When they go up onto the roof and play the songs that they have. What was I going to say? Yeah, so do you like the Beatles? If you like the Beatles, ask your device to, and then say, so it's ask your device, say, and if you like the Beatles, say, yay, Beatles. And if you don't like the Beatles, say, boo, Beatles.
Yeah.
I think people
I'm a big
do
fan.
generally
Sometimes
like them.
I think so too. Have you seen the film Yesterday?
Yes, I thought that was very good.
Me too. I went to see it at the cinema with my mum, and we loved it. Very creative.
Sunny says I do love the Beatles. Yay, Beatles. They do divide opinion in many ways, but what I think is always quite astonishing is that, you know, they were a band. I mean, they're probably popular for sort of 5 years, probably, not long in existence. I want to say, I might have to look that up. But I find it astonishing that they had such a massive impact. And they featured in my husband, I haven't read it, but my husband was saying that they featured in Malcolm Gladwell's book about that 10,000 hours. They are the kind of epitome of that 10,000 hours, which is that they spent all this time in Hamburg. So they were playing for 8 hours a night for years, and they just rattle out a load of tunes. And it's really apparent in the footage when you watch it that they can just pick up and play. So they've learned the skill because they've just done it over and 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 over again. So it becomes dead easy for them. And they almost loosen themselves up on other songs. But they also are so well versed in music. So Chuck Berry, Ray Charles, all sorts of really old school music that they kind of create songs like when he does, when he talks about the long and winding road. They're talking about whether they should put strings or not. And now you and I probably know it with strings in it. But at the time it didn't have strings in it. And Paul McCartney, and he said this at other times as well. It's a documentary. It's like, as he's like, in my head, it's a Ray Charles song. So he wants the piano in it.
Wow, that's interesting.
Loads of stuff in it. There's loads of stuff in it. Like, as I said, you have to start from somewhere.
So that's the thing, isn't it? And it ties into the doing your 10,000 hours. I always forget how many hours it is. It ties into doing your 10,000 hours is that you have to start from where you are.
You have to start from where you are. I think sometimes we get really obsessed with like the side hustle, you know, or, you know, it's very trendy to be an entrepreneur these days and to kind of go, right, I'm going to go and do this for myself. And that's, I mean, it's brilliant that it's trendy. It's brilliant that it's part of it, a part of life now. But I also think that in that kind of trying to find what it is that you have your purpose or that thing that is what you want to do, there's something about I'm not articulating this well at all, but if you'd have said to me, right, everyday positivity, Kate, you started everyday positivity, and in 3.5 years' time, you're going to launch a workbook because you'll have built enough of an audience to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3.5 years, I can't be bothered.
Too long. What do we now?
Well, that's not true, because what I think it is with everyday positivity, I love it so much. I wouldn't have believed you if you said to me you'd be doing it in 3.5 years' time, because I was like, I just want to do it. I just want to do it. I just want to do it.
You just wanted to start.
Yeah, I just wanted to start. And it's like with this, like we're just starting. Like this will get better. I promise. But it's just that thing of, if you don't start, you don't know. It doesn't matter if you go somewhere and you don't get very far, because at least you've started and you're on your way. You can turn around and come back. You can never move forward, right?
Mm-hmm. And this is if I've go on, sorry.
Mum.
I was going to say, if I've understood you correctly, this is what you're saying about, like, you know, being an entrepreneur, of like finding what it is that your purpose is. The best way to do that is just by doing stuff. Just go and start doing stuff, and then eventually you'll stumble into something that you're like, okay, and this is it.
And also, just I think it's funny, isn't it, with everyday positivity, because obviously it's 2-3 minutes a day, nugget of positivity. It's a culmination. I thought my phone was ringing then. Oh, by the way, I've got the oven cleaners coming round today, so I might have to run off and open the door.
The last time we did the show a week ago, we were having the same conversation.
Well, I've rebooked. I'm hoping he's coming. But my oven's at that point where it's got drips down the front of the glass, and I can't even get how they've got there. Like, I'm like, there's nothing that could have happened at this moment that would have made this white drip. Anyway, we'll come back to the oven. The point is about starting, which is that, you know, so what? Everyday Positivity was formed when Flash Briefing started. Mm-hmm. And say 10 years before that podcast started. And say 10 years before that, phones started. So I think when I was 18, I would never have dreamed that I would be doing something like this.
Mm-hmm. A part of it is because it wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah, because it wasn't a thing yet. But if you'd have said to me, you're going to go into the world and make people feel better, I think I'd be like, that would be really cool.
Oh, yeah. That'll do.
That would be super cool. We've got loads here on the Beatles. So Sunny's on about coffee. Kristen says, I grew up on the Beatles. My older sister was a huge Beatles fan during the original Beatlemania years. She was born in 1954. Oh, this is a good story. Good memory, Kristen. Mm-hmm. So I grew up with Meet the Beatles and the Beatles' second album as my first records to play on my record player. That's so cool, isn't it? I can't imagine, because if you think what was around at the time, I just can't imagine. Like, it's not like now. It's not like now. We've got like this whole body of music that you can just access. Like,
whenever you want.
We'll have that. And it's so wonderful. It must have just come on the scene. Like, there's a radio presenter in Manchester called Mike Sweeney. And he says that there was this moment where he's gone to a party, and he's walking back across the dance floor, and this song comes on, and he literally stops in the middle of the dance floor. And it's Love Me Do, I think it is. Love me do. You know I love you. And he's like, that's what I'm doing with the rest of my life. Yeah. And then he formed the Salford Jets, and he did all his music, and he got him off the street, all that kind of stuff. So it's just incredible, isn't it, the impact that a band like that could have.
It is, and what an incredible thing to hear it for the first time, like when it's new. It's like this brand new thing that's like only just come out and nobody's ever heard it before, nobody's heard it yet. It's not a huge deal. What an incredible thing to be able to hear something like that for the first time in a very not the same thing at all. I was having a conversation the other day.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Well, good segue.
About can you imagine watching like Friends for the first time? There's twice I've mentioned Friends already in the show. We're half an hour in.
I know.
I reckon I can get one more.
Second mention of Friends. Look down, look down, look down, look down, look up.
But my point is, can you imagine what, like, it being on for the first time and now we kind of take it for granted? Is my point.
Do you know, I felt like that when I watched Queer Eye for the Straight Guy for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
The original series. I had my Mike Sweeney moment where I'm in my living room. I'm pottering around in one room. Living room is in the front, kitchen's at the back. I put Queer Eye for the Straight Guy on, walked out to the kitchen, went and did something, came back, and literally stood in the middle of the living room. I couldn't move.
Yeah,
like
that's my favorite thing.
I was like,
is
this
when you
program,
just stood up watching TV.
This program is incredible. It was such a big thing then. Like, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. I was like, this is the answer to everything. It's not like the Netflix. It wasn't. Well, it was like the Netflix one, but it didn't have the characters in it. Like the reboot is the one that's on Netflix. But it was incredible. However, and like when I watch Game of Thrones, there's a few episodes of Game of Thrones where I'm like, I am very glad I'm alive in this era of television. But then I do have that thing which I don't think you get with the Beatles, where I'm now getting to a point where the kids, probably in a few years' time, because the kids just don't want to watch anything with any nudity in. Like, you can get them to watch like stuff that's a bit, bit old, as long as there's no nudity. They're like, no, off, out. They will not watch anything. They like fast forward Gogglebox when they talk about sex scenes. It's just so funny.
That's
so funny. So anyway, but I have watched those first episodes of Game of Thrones, and they're not as good. Like, I'm like, for maybe when the kids are ready to watch them, they're not as good.
That's why I could never get into Game of Thrones, because the first few episodes were just like a bit of a slog for me.
Yeah, people have said that about Succession.
Yeah.
Succession was on yesterday, and it was particularly good. It's just ramping up nicely. But there's subtleties to it, and that's the other thing about this Beatles doc, is that there are moments where you can see hearts are breaking, because they are at the end of this journey, and they're having to really face into it.
And I just Googled, it was 8 years that they were together, which is not long.
Well, they were the Beatles for 8 years, but they met when they were 13, 14. So I think they were in the Quarrymen, I want to say. So, and that's when they did Hamburg, when they were really young. They were like in their teens. So they must be in this documentary. It's really bizarre. You're watching them as a 42-year-old, yeah. I was about to say 41, but it's not that long till I'm 42-year-old. And thinking they look like grown-ups, but they're younger than me in this. They're like 27. But they're so professional and so good at what they do. So I just want to cap on. So it says that when the Beatles broke through, it was very sci-fi-ish back when we were teens, in our teens.
Yeah, because it was new.
Yeah, that is true. What's the last thing that was ish? Oh God, it's all happening now, isn't it? It's all happening now.
It is, and it'll be commonplace.
Let's all go into a lockdown. That's very sci-fi-ish, isn't it? So that was 2 years ago, obviously. I'm clicking my thing. I'll stop doing that.
Good.
That's something I discuss with my grandma a lot. She tells me about how all the things that were sci-fi are all a reality now. I love that. That's like everyday positivity, isn't it? Like 10 years ago, wouldn't have believed that we could talk
exactly, and now we're just like
echoes and go, say hi.
Yeah.
say I shared virtual reality with her. She was just absolutely enamored with it. That kind of thing. Yeah, that's cool.
Fun. The other thing that you just casually kind of glossed over is that when you started Everyday Positivity, if somebody told you that you were going to make a workbook,
oh yeah, I did.
Nobody would have believed you. What's the Everyday Positivity workbook, Kate?
I'm so proud of this. Can I tell you one of my biggest dreams is to have a book that you can smell.
How does it smell?
I know. It's like a real thing. Like, and I never. I think when I thought I would do a book, everyone says they've got a book inside them, don't they? I think when I thought I'd do a book, it would be like a novel, because I prattle about with words when I was younger. And we are looking at. There's more to come. There's stuff we want to do.
This is only the first step.
And I do draw and everything, and so to create a colouring book, essentially,
So
where
tell
we
us
started
about what's inside the workbook first.
I will in a minute.
Okay. So
I'll
if
tell you
you
now.
okay, that's what I would have done.
No, I'm on a flow today. I'm on a flow.
Okay.
Right. So this workbook is a lovely yellow workbook that is again, it just is that ethos of here's some stuff to help you feel better. There's colouring pages in it. There's journal prompts. There's inspirational quotes, and then there's some guided meditations. So the stuff that you get a bit in the episodes, I guess. There's a breakdown of the pillars of positivity. There are some with the wheel of life. There are some without. But hopefully they'll all have the wheel of life in from now.
Yeah.
And it started out, the idea started out as I just want people to be able to I just want to be able to give colouring into people. And we've got all these things that we say the pillars could be made into colouring. And I've tried over the years to do it myself on my iPad and just draw, because I do like drawing. But as these things go, I start to delegate. And in the last year, we've come across this fantastic designer who's been doing some work for us called Elliot Nightingale. I mean, come on. Elliot Nightingale is a great name.
It is. He's a great guy as well. Great name for a great
guy. And he got the brief very quickly. And so we put these. I remember when I first saw it, I screamed. He did
I'm not leaving.
One colouring sheet. I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing.
I remember too. You were so excited.
I was so excited. So then he kept going. And I was like, keep going, keep going. And then I was like, we're going to have to flesh this out. So I've got things like, well, you can't see, but I've got things like...
Yes, it is. But it doesn't matter. We get it.
It's got the positivity is not about pasting a smile life. It's about knowing that you can cope with the cracks of life.
These are some of Kate's Kateisms.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about your Kateisms.
Yeah. My mother-in-law says, "Wah!" is one of my Kateisms. And
that's true. So.
So.
I like this one with the glasses. We cannot change anything until we accept it.
That's that Carl. That's a Carl Jung quote, which I love. Yeah. Which is where "Accept the Now" comes from, which is everyday positivity, pillar of positivity number 2. Don't be afraid to be rubbish. That should be a sweary one, but we can't say it. Even I can't even do it on here, I don't think. I want to pick up on some of the stuff that's been said. So Sunny's saying about the grandma. I shared virtual reality with her, and she was absolutely enamored with it. Watching her experience it was magical. Watching anyone experience virtual reality is magical, isn't it?
A lot of fun.
It's like one of the best things. Like my son's got one of those Oculus things, and when he puts it on, or when any of us start like reaching across the room, it's really funny. And then Kristen was saying, when you think of all the sci-fi writers, you think of what the sci-fi writers thought up years ago and now a reality, it is pretty wild. Pretty wild. It is. I mean, this starts, right?
This is how things start. Start from where you are.
And it's all now moving so quickly, you're right. We are moving at a very fast pace at the moment.
Yeah.
And then the fire stick dumped Kristen. So she's trying to reload. So yeah. Is that my oven cleaner? Will's got someone at the door. That's not my oven cleaner in Leeds. Gone to the wrong place.
No, that would be funny. Sorry.
Suspense of my oven cleaner not coming or coming is incredible.
I think yes. I think yeah. Today it's going to happen. A clean oven. Because I
just want a clean oven for Christmas because hang on. I'm just making a note to myself. I just want my oven clean for Christmas because it's done that thing. That's what I was going to tell you about. My oven's done that thing. Does anyone else get this? Do you get this where your oven has got like drips running down the front of it in the glass, and you're looking at the glass going, I don't know how it's even got
How
there.
did that happen? How did it get there?
I don't know how to clean it. Nothing.
Our oven gets a lot of use. It's a heavy use oven, so it requires a lot of TLC.
Well, you're a cooker, aren't you?
No, a wannabe.
A cooker.
You're right. A cooker. It's fine.
I'm absolutely determined to enjoy today.
Good.
As in the day as a whole. Yeah. Today is going to be fun. I'm determined to have a good time. It's amazing, actually, because Sunny says we're in this awkward stage with technology where it's so advanced, but it breaks all the time. Yeah. Correct. My oven's not broken, but it is that thing of sometimes you buy the new stuff, like, your new white goods. You're like, oh, look at this fancy thing on here. And then it breaks because it's got a fancy thing on.
Yeah. Or it's more
it's
complicated to use than you're listening.
Thank you. There is a weird drip from somewhere that comes from somewhere. It's like the socks go missing in the washing machine. Yeah. So you never end up with a sock. The drip in the front of the cooker, don't know where that came from. I can't even work out what it is. It's white this time. I'm like, it's like someone's poured cream down the gap. I'm like, what? I don't even know why. And it's up high. Like, my cooker is above my head because I have a tall husband and my kitchen's for tall people. I have to have a little step. But my oven, the hob, it's like here. I'm like, how has it got above my head and now dripped into? I can't even work it out. Anyway, that's been the stress of the week. Life's pretty good when you're worried about in your cooker.
We've talked about good problems to have before, I think.
Yes, good problems to have. Right, but here's what I want to know. What's going on in your house that's weird?
Oh, can I tell you?
Yes.
Okay, and this is what this is all about. It's happening right now. You're literally in the middle of it.
In the middle of it. This is what I like about these lives from our houses.
It just happens, doesn't it? We had all this weather over the weekend.
I love that. I love that we do that as Brits.
We had weather. We've had weather.
It snowed, basically. And there was a storm. Arwen got involved.
Yeah.
Bit of wind, bit of snow. Done.
It was weather. So part of it, the wind. But so in old houses like mine, you have like a big pane of glass. We've got one in our bathroom. It's a big pane of glass. It's got this big plastic vent in it. It doesn't it's not electric.
It's a legal requirement. Is it in the bathroom, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, legal requirement.
It's not electric or anything. It doesn't spin. It's just like a vent.
Ventilation.
Whatever's in the wind. But the storm blew it out. It blew it out of the window into the bathroom. Okay.
Whoa.
Which was dramatic. So it was left with this big hole. It just left this big hole in the bathroom window, which you could just see. It's just the sky. There's nothing there now. So I put a piece of cardboard over it to keep the cold out. Taped a bit of cardboard over my window, like the classy house that we are. And I asked our landlord to please send somebody to fix it. So
this is where you have to get the landlord involved.
Exactly. There's some things that I try and do myself. Like as much as I can, I'll try and fix stuff myself. But sometimes I'm like, this is out of my hands. This is above my area of expertise.
Grade.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the weird thing that's happening in our house at the minute.
Well, we were discussing this the other day and saying that actually you ever have to go to university anymore now that YouTube exists, because I bet you could work out how to fix that on YouTube.
Oh yeah, like I could. I'm sure I could.
I learned how to change my loo seat on YouTube.
There's nothing. The University of YouTube.
YouTubeversity.
Yeah.
What I love is that Chris involved and said you lose a sock, but you get an extra Tupperware lids in the cupboard in exchange. So true.
That's a good one, and that's useful.
But they're not. Well, they are. They're not. When I got my kitchen redesigned, I redesigned it around the Tupperware drawer because I was like, it needs to be big enough that the stuff can just go like that over the top. And then what I love is that Sunny has got a very important meeting today with the CEO of a company, and they're getting involved, saying, "Could it be an oven? Could it be the insulation or glue holding the oven together that's getting hot?" I love that we're troubleshooting my oven now. I don't know.
Yeah.
When the oven cleaner arrives, I think I'll find out. It does look like grease. I hear what you're saying. I'm going to let that one ride because if it is, it'll happen again. So that's what we're going to do.
That's true. That'll be a good way to find out.
Stacey's saying have a lot of wind in Texas, but we don't get snow.
Yeah.
And the
See,
Kristen said
Yeah.
cardboard doesn't really keep the cold out, Will.
You know what? It's doing an okay job for now, for the time being. My only concern is when it rains again. It's just gonna.
Yeah, it'll just get soggy. Won't it?
But that's okay.
Will, have you ever thought about asking someone to help fix your ventilation system? It's not like
Yes, I
that
have.
here. It's not like that here, is it? It's like, yeah, these ventilation system in a Victorian house is the gaps in the floorboards.
Yeah.
And if you have a gas fire fit, you have to have some extraction sort of thing put in. And it's the same. I don't actually. So the extraction in the bathroom, the extractor fan in the bathroom will be to stop it getting like all moldy, basically.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we have like a proper electric extractor fan now. This is just like an ancient one from when the house was built.
But I'm about to have some building work done, having a bathroom put in, and I was like, I don't want windows. And my husband's like, you've got to have windows. I was like, no, you don't. And they're like, you have to have a window to open it. I was like, just put a fan in. But now, from your experience, I don't think we will. Have you ever thought asking your children to clean the oven, Kate? Yes, that's what Stacey's saying. So the kids have got quite good at their chores. I thought cleaning ovens was probably a bit too, and I'm getting the fridge freezer done as well. I thought it's a bit of a treat, really, isn't it? That's what life has come to, Will.
Is this what we've got to look forward to in our 40s?
Yeah. The joy of an oven clean.
Yeah.
It's so nice when it's done, though. You open it up and you go, ooh, look how
clean don't forget, like, my parents, before they had their kitchen redone, they kind of gave up on the oven a bit because they knew they were just going to get a new one. So the luxury, they've got a really very nice new oven delivered. I'm like, oh my God, we can actually see things cooking. It's incredible.
I'm looking forward to tonight when my oven clean actually comes. He's got till 3, so hopefully, you never know. Hopefully, he'll be here by then.
Optimistic.
Kristen says old homes are very difficult to keep up with. They are. So I keep building new bits on mine. And Kristen says that her hubby learned how to rebuild our clothes dryer on YouTube. I've learned how to change headlights, blue seats.
A lot of like washing machine maintenance.
All of my tech, everything.
Yeah. All sorts. It's so useful.
All sorts. It is really useful. Really, really useful. Good Dolly news this week.
Yeah. I'm going. My Dolly obsession's getting
Dolly
news. So since you and I were last here, Kate, we've had Thanksgiving. Not we. The US have had Thanksgiving. It's been Thanksgiving in the US.
Yeah, I'll take Christmas.
It is. And on Thanksgiving, the lovely Dolly Parton shared another picture because she's in the past she's been quite a private person about her and her husband. Her husband's called Carl Dean. So we got a picture of them on their anniversary, and now she shared another picture of them from Thanksgiving.
He's so handsome.
Everything plays. He is so handsome. Look at this picture.
Look how handsome he is.
Look at how handsome he is, and obviously Dolly looks great too.
So when if you're watching. If you're watching, Will's just shared the image, and I quite like that we've got Dolly, Dean, Will, and Kate on the programme today.
Representing, here they are.
He's very handsome, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks great in that picture. So
he's
it was
very handsome
nice
as well, but he's very handsome.
It was nice to see that picture of them from Thanksgiving.
I
wonder what Dolly Parton had for Thanksgiving.
I don't know. Do you reckon she cooked?
I'd like to think so.
She likes pro cook pan bargain?
I think she does. I like to think that Dolly Parton had a big family get together, had all the family around, and they cooked dinner together. That's what I think happened. That's what I like to think.
So you and I have bonded over the Pro Cook catalogue.
How many emails have you had from them this week?
I've had quite a few from Pro Cook this week.
I've had like 2 a day.
But the products are quality stuff. This is not an advertisement, by the way. We've not been paid by Pro Cook.
No, but if they're
sponsorship
interested,
option here.
let me
Although,
know.
if ever ProCook
If you're
wants
watching
to
from
throw a bit
ProCook
of-
or
sling a bit
listening
of
from
sling a
ProCook,
few pounds our way, we'll go for
yeah.
it. But did you ever do you ever find that your
Whoa. What are you laughing at?
the non-stick lining of your pan comes away when you put it in the dishwasher?
Oh, yeah, you can't be putting...
And they say they're
Okay.
dishwasher proof, and then you do it, and then they're not, and they peel away. Anyway, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, my stepmother-in-law and father-in-law have told me that I have to hand wash my pans. And all I want
Okay.
Christmas
This...
/ birthday is a big saute pan from ProCook.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
on Sunday, I bought one. So when it
Wow.
arrives, I have to do an unboxing for you.
Please
Isn't
do.
it
Please film it and
ridiculous?
we'll play on restream.
Isn't it ridiculous how a pan is so exciting?
It is. And the other thing that's ridiculous, and we have this problem too. Like, I don't have a dishwasher in my house, but my parents do. But they have so much nice stuff. This, oh, that's too nice. It can't go in the dishwasher.
I know. I'm like, what's the
All
point
of
of a
their favorite things to
dishwasher?
cook with, like all of their favorite like pans and utensils, like all their good knives. Yeah, your favorite glasses, your favorite mugs.
We've just bought these glasses because we like they're all different in the container. They've got different patterns on them, and I'm like, I quite fancy those. So we treated ourselves to some glasses for the Christmas guests that we're having, and the other ones have gone all kind of white from the dishwasher.
Yeah. So we just we'll make dinner, load the dishwasher, put the dishwasher on, and then do the washing up, which seems a bit ridiculous. But
has anyone got?
so
Have
again,
you got
it's
a
problem to
tip
have.
on the dishwasher front? Stacey's with me. It's not ridiculous. It's a good thing. It's exciting.
It
To get
is a good
excited
thing.
about a pan, life is good, right?
Yeah, good. And oh no, I have too many nice things that can't go in my dishwasher.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
that's
very
a good
good
point.
problem
Good
to
problem
have.
to have.
That
Yeah.
is a good problem to have. Do I have a
Oh
tip for loading
dear.
the dishwasher? No. Just do the best you can, and don't let anybody tell you what to do. But do put your cutlery in prong side down.
Correct.
Thank you.
Well, I think you and I are match made in heaven.
Now okay, I've worked with you for 2 years, and now you think that we're gonna get along?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Not for all of the great work that I've done for you, not because of all the hours of audio that I've produced for you, but because I too like to load my dishwasher with the prongs facing down.
Prongs down.
Okay,
The amount
good.
of
I'm
accidents
glad.
that happen when the prongs are up.
Yeah. Also, when you're unloading it, go grubby fingers. Don't touch that. No, don't like it.
Yes. Oh, I don't even thought of that. You're very proper.
Me? Nah, mate.
Yeah.
Not proper me.
But
Was dragged up
what I
ours.
love about all of the stuff that we've talked about is that you do form a relationship with stuff, don't you? You form a relationship with
stuff's
your
great.
house and how it moves and how it rolls and the quirks and I love that Kristen totally gets it that you lose a sock in the laundry and you gain a lid in the Tupperware.
Universal experiences.
Yeah. So you've got a fan loose.
Yeah, I have.
My son currently has the Arctic bedroom in our house because we can't work out what he's done. He's turned off the radiator. This is Louis. He's turned off the radiator in the summer, and now it won't turn back on again.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he keeps on saying, right, I'll tidy my room so you can get in there. So I've got a fan heater he can use. I can ask the plumber to come around. I'll look at work out how to do it. But he's like, no, I've got to tidy the room. So there's that. And then when I do suggest a fan heater, he starts going, no, it won't work. I'm like, what do you mean it won't work? The kid's 13.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean it won't work? Well, there's no plugs. I'm like, what do you mean there's plugs? He's like, well, I've got all my kit connected to the computer. He's got his electric drum kit. He's got his electric guitar. There's no plugs. Like the room will explode if you plug something else in. I'm like, there are more plugs in your room than you're telling me. There's only 2. I'm like, no, there aren't.
And also, being warm is more important than your
guitar.
electric.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what Paul McCartney would think as well.
It's a hard message to hear when you're 13, but it's a slightly easier message when it's called in the middle of the night. So
he's like, no, it won't work. And it's so funny that the teenager thinks he knows. Like, he's like, no, it won't work. I'm like, but what do you mean it won't work? Like how do you know? Well, it just won't. It's so funny. They're so particular at this age. They know everything. It's like Wikipedia or the kids.
Yeah.
if you want,
Just gonna
if you
ask
want the
them.
answer to something, it's
Don't
Wikipedia.
know. They always have an answer for
Wikipedia or
something.
the kids.
I had an answer for everything at that age as well.
Oh, I did too. I knew everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I probably think I know everything now. I certainly think I'm a high performer.
A high performer. Certainly, that was a bit of a Freudian slip, wasn't it?
No. Oh dear. Oh dear. We've all gone bananas. Right. So what are your key takeaways?
Is that everyone's that having a weird house and weird appliances and stuff that doesn't work and stuff that goes missing is a universal experience. And
Yes, correct.
it's not just happening to you, it's happening to everybody. And start from now. Start from where you are. Then my takeaways.
Start from where you are. So when you open up that Tupperware drawer and you see it all splayed out and you go, I'm going to organise this drawer. Because that's what the type A personality in me does.
Yeah.
Type A personality, I've got to just start from where I am. Start with the
Feels
first...
like a mammoth task. Just start.
Yeah. And it is sorting out that Tupperware drawer.
I love that. Okay, Kay Cocker, where can people get the Everyday Positivity Workbook?
You can get the Everyday Positivity Workbook on Amazon. You search the Everyday Positivity Workbook and it comes up quite high now. I could do with some reviews. That'd be nice to have some stars next to it. But I'm expecting when I didn't want to ask for it until people got it.
Yeah. You've got to review something you've got. I'll leave a review.
It'd be good to get a few reviews. Just because it helps spread positivity around the world.
And if people want, if for some reason people should want to hear more from you and I, where can they find out what's going on in our world?
Probably the Facebook group's best.
That's what I was trying to allude to. I don't know if I made it clear that that's what I wanted you to say.
I know. I was like, you've not been on an episode before. Know your place.
I'm sorry.
So this is the only speaking part you have. No, Facebook group. Everyday Positivity with Kate Cocker. You have to search in groups in Facebook.
Yes.
Kristen's taking Start From Where You Are as the mantra. Thanks, Stacey. Gonna have 5 stars, hands down. I'm really pleased with the book. It's a little bit of me that's like, oh, it's a book. It's real.
It is
my
real. And
words
it's so exciting
and my
to do the first
ideas,
one.
and it's there to help people, and people will genuinely. What I can't wait for is when people got it, they start colouring it in. I want to see the pictures on the Facebook group. That'd be great. That'd be great. See what people do with all the designs. Oh man, how fun! Just how fun.
It will be fun.
And then what else was I going to say then? Oh yeah, and then obviously check out Everyday Positivity wherever you get your podcasts. Volley Go and Amazon Flash Briefings is probably another good place to go as well.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
There's loads coming up on Backchannel today. You've got Anthony Davis, the wonderful Anthony Davis here. He's on from 12 p.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern time.
He has the news.
He has the news. It is a very deep, authoritative voice.
Yeah, he's great.
He is great. And then after that, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. is your pal Hal, Hal Rudnick. He'll be on 2 to round off the end of the day.
Fab. Great. Lovely to spend some time with you. We'll be back on Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. In the meantime, have a great day.
See you later.